What's going on? Today we're going to be tying a Perdigon in the UV blue flavor. So I have a Falling Mill FM50 in the vise. It's a size 14. Let's see if we can get this to come into focus. There we go. And I got it matched with a 2.8 millimeter bead. Also Falling Mill. You can play around with it. This is going to be a lighter fly, so I'm going to use a 2.8, but I'll bump that bead up to a 3.3 millimeter, especially if I'm running this on as a point fly. Or you can also use 020 lead. I'm going to use 015. I'm going to come in here real quick and just do 4 turns. So just like that, helicopter it off, and then pack that lead all up in that bead. So come through, I'm using UTC 70 denier Peacock blue thread. So just build up a little thread base behind the lead wraps, lightly cover the red lead, kind of keep that taper. Come back and snip that off. Let me find my scissors. Here we go. Alright, so just trim the thread, little snippety snip. Alright, and then you're going to bring the thread back to about where the barb would be. So the next thing you're going to need is some Coq de Leon right here. So you know this, you want this fly to sink fast. So 3 to 4 fibers. If it's 5 fibers, the fish will still eat it. If it's 6, the fish will still eat it. If it's 27, they'll still eat it, but it won't cut through the water as nice. So what I'll do when I'm preening the Coq de Leon feather is I'll hold it 90 degrees to the stem, kind of even up those tips, and then you can just pull it off and you're good to go. Transfer hands, I'll measure it. I like it to be about 75%. I was not the best student, so mathematics wasn't my strong suit. So just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact. Alright, I'm going to lock that in there. That's good enough. Wrap the thread up. I like to keep that Coq in there and come up and over just to keep that taper nice and smooth, if you will. I'll wrap my thread back down to this little bump. We're going to even that out. You'll need some UV blue Krystal flash. And I'll just come and double this over around the thread and use that to build up the taper and wrap back to the tying point on the tail where that Coq de Leon is. Crack-a-lack-a-sham. Now advance the thread back up to right behind the bead. What I'll do is I'll just whip finish this off and then tie in the color that I'm going to use for the hot spot. So just come in with your whip finish here real quick. You definitely want to make sure this Krystal flash isn't in the way. I'm showing you an example of what not to do, so don't do that. Just a couple turns because you're going to cinch it down. So I'll cut off that UV blue, that blue Krystal flash. I just knock us out of focus here. And then I'm going to use some UTC 70 fluorescent pink. So just come in here, a couple quick wraps. Trim. That was a little messy. I'll come back in here, kind of even that up. And then with your Krystal flash, just twist it up and kind of keep it in a rope and wrap it up the body with touching wraps. One thing to consider with like these Krystal flash style Perdigons and even with body quilt is the color of the base layer of the thread, because when you hit it with the resin, that thread will show through. So there, keeping that nice taper. Lock it in place. So this is a size 14. I fish these from 12s to 16s, but you can get wild. You want to fish 20s? Do you? You want to fish a size 2/0 Perdigon? Go for it. the world is yours. So once the hotspot's in place and good to go, just come in here and whip finish. And then you're gonna get yourself some black nail polish. I like to use this Wet n Wild because it's cheap, and you know, when I play my old My Chemical Romance records, I can paint my nails black and cry along and relive high school all over again. So it serves that purpose as well. It's gonna come in here, and so kind of take off some of that excess and dab and try to get some on the bead. So you're going to want to do 2 coats so you can let that dry in the vise, and so you can see boom, boom, boom. And so we'll let that harden up. And then after that dries, you're going to come back and we'll hit it with a coat of Solar Res. I like this bone dry because all you need is 1 coat. You should let it dry longer than this, but for the sake of this video, let's keep it short. I'm going to hit it again with a 2nd coat. But usually what I would do is stick this on a little piece of foam, let that dry, and then continue with this next step. So I'm going to turn the camera off for a sec. I'll come back when this is dry. I'm back. Alright, so nail polish set up. You're just going to come in here, Bob Ross style. Let's not get crazy. Just a little touch up. And I like to get over the nail polish. Just flip it over, make sure to cover up the hot spot. Amazing. A masterpiece. This is a great fly. It's probably one of the easiest flies you'll ever tie, and it catches fish like crazy. So I hope your retinas aren't frying as I'm hitting it with the light. I'll do this. Let me protect you. With this stuff, just a few seconds is all you need, and you're good to go. No tack. Go fish.